Then we got the classic Orange Crush in amber. It's in near mint condition. It's $12. No city on this one. It's what they call the standard size. All the 7-ounce sodas are about that tall. Then I have the taller, skinnier variety. It's only $10 because it's got some minor stain all over it. Tiny pinhead bruise, but at least it has the city name on this one. Then we have a Haddon House. This is the only one I've ever seen in 29 years. It's kind of an odd size and shape. It's from Camden, New Jersey. It's only $4.50. Then I have this stubby little thing called Misco. It's $4.50. Don't see any city listed on this one. Connecticut and Massachusetts are listed on there in some sort of a way. It's got the milliliters on it, so it's obviously from 1979 or 80. And another Kickapoo Joy Juice. This is the white label. It's slightly discolored, but it's only $7.50. Then we have the Frosty. This is a sparkling mint example and it's only $5. But this one actually is from Columbia, South Carolina. Now I'm going to show you a series of Canada Dry bottles. This one I have not seen until just recently. It's an odd 16-ounce diet one. It's in very mint condition, like brand new. And it's $7.50. Then we have a bunch of 7-ounces coming up. This is probably the most standardized variety. And this one's in mint condition and it's $4. Then we have this variety. It's near mint and it's $3.50. Then I have this odd shaped one. It's in truly mint condition and it's $5. There's the back side. And then we have the Spur. It's in near mint condition and it's $5. And then this style. This one's definitely mint. It's also $5. And then this variety. This one's a little hazy and a little bit faded, so it's only $3.50. Now for the small 7-ounce White Rock. It's sparkling mint from New York. Then this very odd one, it's the only one I've seen. It's a Coca-Cola product bottle. And it's from some small town in Nebraska that I've never heard of. It's mint and it's only $5. And then a Kist. It's the 7-ounce size. And it's from Fresno, California. $4.50. Then we have the tiny 7-ounce returnable Pepsi from the 60s. It's in pretty good shape. These are fairly hard to find, so it's $10. Then the Lamport. It's the only one I've ever seen. And it's $6. Then the Cameron. $6. Washington, Pennsylvania. The paint's kind of faded out on the back. Here's another one. I've only ever seen this one. Liberal High. It's $8 and it's from Liberal, Kansas Coca-Cola Bottling Company. And it's mint condition. And then 76. This one's still full. I don't know if that's the real cap on it or not. But the back label is actually more interesting than the front label on these. And this one is from Norton, Virginia. And that one will would be $10. We have a Clico Club, 7-ounce green, truly mint condition, $7.50. And this Dr. Pepper in the 6.5 ounce size is pretty rare. This one's in mint condition at 6.5. And then a Blenheim ginger ale. It's a 10 ouncer. It's only $3. Then I have a Crass. It's in mint condition. It's a 6.5 or 7. It's a Coca-Cola product. The only one. Then we have this pair. Here's two sodas that look very much the same, but they're totally different companies, different states. This one's from Macon, Georgia. And it's $5.50. Then we have this one. It's $6. And it doesn't have a city name on it, but I think it's from somewhere in North Carolina. Then we have a new grape in this old style. Something seems to be wrong with the paint on it. Looks like a manufacturing flaw. It's got a few thin spots in it. It's $6. It's got the Atlanta, Georgia name on it. And here's an interesting one. It's got a mountain scene, and a bear, and a river. I thought it was from out west, but it's really from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. It's an extremely clean bottle. It's $12. Then we got a lime cola. It's from Pennington Gap, Virginia. Never heard of that town before. It's $7.50. Then we have another Clico Club in clear this time. It's $4.50. And it's got the city that invented this beverage. And then a fruit bowl. It's about a 7.5 or 8 ouncer. And it's from Houston. It's $8. And we have the 7 or 8 ounce size of the Nesbits. It's a super sparkling example. And it's got the embossed neck. It's $9. Then a Mason's root beer. It's got a little bit of High Point case wear. And it's got the Chicago name. $7. And then a Home Beverages. It's a pretty rare picture bottle. It's $14. And it's from Clifton, Arizona. It's kind of a small town way out in the mining district. Then I got a Hillbilly. I don't know if this is considered a Mountain Dew copycat or not. But if you collect Mountain Dew bottles with Hillbillies, you probably want that. It's a big 16 ouncer. It's in sparkling mint condition. It's $9.50 and it's from Richland Center, Wisconsin. And then we got this little tip bottle. It's $5 and it's somehow associated with the early Mountain Dew Corporation. Then we got this grapette that's basically the same size and shape as that last one. It's kind of a miniature. It's just made of thinner glass. This one is from Camden, Arkansas, which is where that's where this company is based out of. And then an Ontario Beverages. It's a Great Western bottle and it's pretty rare, but it's got some serious wear on it. And the back label's half gone. It's from somewhere in Oregon. It looks to be about an 11 or 12 ouncer. And it's $7. And we have a Verner's. This is a pretty rare one because it's a half a liter. And it's sparkling glossy. Probably only filled one time and then kept by me. I think I bought this out of a grocery store about 30 years ago. It's $8. Then we have the brownie. a nice picture bottle, but they're fairly common. This one's $9 because it's the older one with the embossed neck. The newer ones don't have that. Then we got the like bottle. It's from the 7-Up company. And because of that, it's $10. Then we got this odd shaped bottle. It's the only one I've ever had. It's $6.50. Then we have Manila Soda Works from Clifton, Arizona. It's a sparkling mint bottle, 12-ouncer. And then Bart's. It's just the neck label. But I haven't seen more than a couple of these, so it's $5. Then we got the Twist style squirt bottle. And this one has the stars on the neck. And the little boy picture. It's $8. Then we have a Hires that used to be maybe the most famous root beer in the world. But now it's not very popular at all. I don't think they make it anymore. It's $4. Then we have the New Grape in the 10-ounce size. It's a mint example. Then another one, but this one's older. It's got the indented midsection and smaller graphics. I'm sure that's twice as scarce as the other one. This one's only $3 because it has a big chip out of the bottom, but it's on the back side. Then we have one of many varieties of Sundrop. This one has a classic 60s look to it. It's $5.50. And we have Diet Right Cola. $3. It's a 10-ouncer. Then we have the Patio from the makers of Pepsi Cola. It's $5. And for some reason A&W root beer was hugely popular, but yet they didn't make very many bottles. They're actually pretty hard to find, so because of that it's $15. Another Canada Dry. It's fairly rare. It's $9. It's a super mint example. It's 10 ounces, and it's got the unusual shape, this textured pattern around it. A 10-ounce True Aid. Sometimes they have the city name over here. This is just the generic variety. We have the Mountain Dew with the Yahoo on it. Came out right after the Hillbilly design was discontinued. These were only used for about a year and a half. It's $5. Then we have a Lane's. It's a sparkling mint example. It's $8 because these are pretty rare. From Malden, Missouri. Then we have another Sundrop. It's only $3 because this one's a little bit faded out, but it's got a really unique 60s design to it as well. Then I have a Rock Creek. I've only ever seen two of these. It's $6. Sparkling mint condition, Washington, D.C. Then for $4.50 we have a Clico Club. It's a big 12-ouncer. It's got a paper label over a painted label, so you could soak that off if you preferred. But for $4.50, that's got to be a good deal. Then we have a Rock Cliff for $5.50 from Rock, West Virginia. Never heard of that city before. Then Tab. It was a pretty popular drink back in the 70s, but how often do you actually see these anymore? It's a sparkling mint example. Then for $8, I have a double cola in the 50s style. These came out around 1945 actually. Found a lot of these over the years, but the paint's always faded or missing. This is about perfect though. And then for $9 we have a Team. It's a Pepsi Cola product. It's in mint condition. And for $5 we have what looks to be a Circle K, but really it's something else. I don't know what this means exactly, but it's from the 7-Up bottling company, which is pretty unusual. There's not many products put out by 7-Up. It's from Dallas and it's $5. Then we have a Red Rock 12-ouncer. It's sparkling, perfect condition. It's $5. No city listed on this one. And for $4 we have a nice old bottle. It's from Mission, and it was bottled in Los Angeles. Well, it was bottled all over the country, but this one's from Los Angeles. We got the Big Giant Cola. It's one of the 16-ouncers that wasn't made in any of the smaller sizes, and it has a baseball player on it. So one of those bottles, the back label is actually better than the front label. It's $8.50. And a 16-ounce cheer wine. It's in really good shape. It's only $3. Then here's another 16-ouncer that was not made in any of the smaller sizes because it's a hippo size. It's from Texas. Sparkling mint bottle. And it's got a patent date of 1926 on it. And a 16-ounce vest. It's a sparkling mint one. Here's the other side. It's $7. And here's another 16-ounce vest of a different style. This one's got pictures of party stuff on it. Pretty good looking 16-ounce bottle. And the other side also has the same image. It's $10. I was told that the RC Cola company was experimenting with trying out a 16-ounce bottle, but they didn't even want to actually put the RC name on it until they found out whether it would be successful or not. So this was supposed to be used in 1959, and when people said they do want a 16-ounce cola, then they quit making these and made them actually say RC Cola on them. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been told. And here is a 16-ounce RC. It's got that odd pinched in midsection. It's a mint example. Here's the other side. It's only $4.50. Then we have a Canada Dry. It's the big 32 or maybe 28-ouncer. It's $8. Then we have a Sunrise. It's a 10-ouncer. It's sparkling mint. $6. It's from the Coca-Cola bottling company of Alamogordo, New Mexico. Then we have White Lightning. That's a Mountain Dew copycat. It's only $4.50. Here's an older one. I believe it's out of Texas somewhere. It's a sparkling clean example. Bryan, Texas. It's $10. And here's the classic Pepsi, except you see a lot of these in the 10 and 12 and 16 ouncer size, but how often do you see it 8 ounce? Check your collection, because I was surprised to find out these are pretty rare. And the other side, this one is super sparkling mint. Somebody told me there was only one town in America that bottled these in the 8 ounce size. Littleton, North Carolina. And we have the Mission with the blue label. That's the late 60s variety. And it says New Haven, Connecticut. It's only $3. Popular beverage these days, but apparently back in the early 60s it wasn't, because you don't see very many of them. This is the only one I have. It's kind of faded out, but it's only $4. And we have the Verner's Ginger Ale. It's about an 8 ouncer. It's a sparkling clean example. It's from Detroit. Then we have the Delaware Punch. It looks to be about a 9 ouncer. It's $4.50. And it's from Globe, Arizona. And then we have a beautiful classic picture bottle. It's pretty common though, but everybody needs one of these in their collection. It's from Conroe, Texas. It's a sparkling mint example. It's $6. Then a Barks root beer. Looks like a 16 ouncer, but it's really not. It's an 18 ouncer. Guess they wanted to say theirs was a little bit bigger than everybody else's. It's the only 18 ounce soda that I've ever heard of. And it's from El Paso, Texas. And it is $7. And from the makers of RC Cola, we have the Diet Right Cola. It's $7.50. You don't see very many of these around. Well, that's it for now. Let me know if you want some of these. And by request, I have one embossed Daniel Boone Beverages. It's a great picture bottle. It's in mint condition and it's $18.